Okay, everybody, are we ready for this one? I think a lot of people are going to be upset and others will not, but we're going to talk about the best cameras for landscape photography and street photography. Are we ready for this? Let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, this is dedicated to photography and as a photo artist, but it's also pushing ourselves creatively to think out of the box. Now, with that out of the way, I got some housekeeping to take care of. And one is, if you have any questions or issues, my email address will be right here at the very bottom. It is stephenphotoartist@gmail.com. And again, I tend to respond quicker to personal emails rather than the YouTube comment section because I don't get to go there that often. I try to get in there maybe twice a month or whatever. But anyhow, I had some issues and questions about a topic I did a few weeks ago, and that is I've Been Framed. I'll put the link to that if you have not seen that in the show notes or description here in our this YouTube video. Also, I want to clarify something on buymeacoffee.com. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody that contributed to Buy Me a Coffee to help support the channel. It's just only on a volunteer basis. But I also had a question about one of the extras, and that is the modules I was selling regarding framing. It was different templates and stuff. And a lot of questions were coming in, emails asking me about printing, and somebody was using a laser printer, and I'm not going to recommend a laser printer. But before we get into that, let me just highlight this really quick. If you go to, and I'll put the in the show notes the link to this, but buymeacoffee.com/Stephen Photo Artist, you're going to come up with this interface right here, and you'll see over here that there's a section where you can support the channel by buying a coffee. You can buy me one. You could do 3 for $9, 5 for $15. I mean, it's on a volunteer basis. So the ones that did that, thank you very much. But here's what I want to focus on extra right here. And some issues and questions came up with people that purchased this Photoshop matte frame templates with the training video. And some of you are saying, well, I'm trying this with a laser printer and it doesn't come out right. So I'm going to tear this apart, but this is the one I used in that session a few weeks ago. And I'm going to take this out of the frame. If I can get that out of the frame. And you can see that this is printed on matte photo quality paper. If I hold the edge here, it doesn't even bend hardly at all. I don't know if that shows up or not, but this is what they call matte photo quality paper, and it's for really photo printers. Now, if you're not familiar with photo printers, by the way, I don't want you to run out and buy a printer just because I'm showing this. You could send this out to well, I don't know what's in other countries, but I'm sure there's other service bureaus that do printing, and they do offer what's called fine art print. It's totally different. You have all these different choices of matte paper, textured fine art papers, that kind of stuff, even luster, something very unique. So if you're not familiar with that, just quickly, I'll show you. If you go to Epson's website, now I have an old Epson, it's called a P400. It'll do 13 by 19 print. What replaced that now is a new one called the SureColor printer right here, and it is a P700 SureColor printer. And then this one, that'll do 13 by 19, by the way. This one will do 17 by 22 prints. Both will have the ability to do roller prints too, but the width maximum is 17 inches there. And that's the SureColor P900. And those are sort of the entry-level type printers. Anything beyond that, if you're going to go 17 inches wide, the next is 12 inches and higher. Now you're going into what's called standing units. And by the way, all these printers like this uses 12 different inks, and they're pigment inks, which means it's archival. If I go over here to the desktop version, they use pigment ink also. And you want to avoid these all-in-one type things, printers. I mean, you could use it, but these are the ones that are really designed to print out stuff like this at high quality and allow you to use fine art papers and stuff. So again, matte finish, it works the best with these type of printers. Again, don't buy these printers unless you know you're going to print on a regular basis, because there's one thing that you'll run out of fast. Well, not fast, but you're going to waste is ink if you don't use these printers, because they will clog up within a couple weeks or so, and then you have to run a cleaning cycle, which is just wasting ink. If you use it like me on a regular basis, I use these printers once a week versus at least once every 2 weeks. If I'm gone for a couple weeks on vacation, I'll just run a check nozzle print, hardly uses any ink, and I know I'm good for a couple weeks. So the other company that is real popular when it comes to printers, fine art printers, and that is Canon. Canon has a Pro 300, which is I think it's a 13 by 19 printer. Yes, 13 by 19 printer right there. And again, it uses pigment inks. And then the big one for still a desktop to do the 17 by 22 will be the Pro 1000. And so those are like matching what Epson has. These two are duking it out. Both these companies are the leaders in the industry worldwide for photo type printing on the archival side. By the way, these inks on the archival side is like a couple hundred years under normal conditions for viewing. If you're using color, black and white is now up to 300 years. So, again, don't run out and get a printer. I would use a Service Bureau. Bayphoto, as an example, here in the U.S., has the ability to do fine art print. You just have to look for that category and just choose matte paper, and the stuff's going to come out gorgeous. But Bayphoto is not the only one. There's many ones out there. I don't have an affiliation with Bayphoto, but just do your research on that. But definitely avoid these cheap printers, and definitely not a laser printer. Laser printers aren't designed to have that unique look and stuff, to give you that 3D look. Again, with the print right there. I mean, this really, really looks nice and stuff, especially when it's put into a basic frame. Okay, so hopefully that helps some of you guys out. Again, the links to the video and buy me a coffee, you'll find that in the show notes right there. Okay, let's talk about what we're here for, and that is the best camera in 2024 and beyond by most people. And it's not to be confused what I talked about a few weeks ago. I think it was January 31st about, the best camera in 2024. This is for landscape. You can even throw in wildlife photography, but definitely street photography. And you know that I've talked about this before in the past, and I am not a street photographer. I mean, I've done it just to say I've done it, but also landscape. I'm not a landscape photographer. I've done it. In fact, I went out on a trip last year to Moab, and I took some photos out at the arches and stuff like that, the national parks. And then a train ride, it was a 2-day trip through Moab, going into Denver, but cutting through the heart of the Rockies, and beautiful vista shots that was just incredible, right from the train. As the train was moving in that, I just went in between the cars, just sort of stuck my head out there and was taking shots when I saw some beautiful scenery coming up. Incredible. But again, not a landscape photographer. So what is the best camera? Well, I'm the messenger on this, and I'll give you my point of view toward the end. But let me show you something here. Let me minimize this and come to, where are we at? Okay, we're going to take a look at these photos. Now, again, I'm not a landscape photographer. If I was, I just love black and white when it comes to street photography and landscape photography. Maybe, in landscape, I'm thinking, there's a lot of well-known people from years ago that, hardly anybody shot black and white. Well, hardly anybody shot in color because there wasn't really color film, wasn't prominent yet. But you got a guy like Ansel Adams that made black and white very contrasty, a very popular look and style that he did years ago. And, other landscape photographers, so I'm sort of drawn to that as that black and white type of look and stuff. And again, wildlife, I probably Wouldn't do it in black and white because you want to probably show the color of the wildlife, whether it's an eagle, some type of bird, colorful bird or animal. To see that in the wildlife, probably I would, again, just me, would do it in color. But I've seen a lot of great work in black and white. But here's what's really important about the best camera. And this is something that there's a tangent going on that's shifting away. And if I show you these images right here when I was out west, here's another one. This is in the Moab area. This is cutting through the heart of the Rockies. Beautiful stuff out there. This is street photography. Some of the things that, I like that black and white grainy look. Just a collection of different stuff. What's important to know is these images I'm showing you, let me go back here to like this type of stuff. It's pretty cool stuff. But here's everything I'm showing you right here, except for 2 images, which I'm not going to tell you which ones they are, is actually a photo I took, and the other ones are all AI. And so I had a meeting with a small group of photographers, veterans, have been around for a while, and I know that people that make money in photography typically are doing people type of work. In other words, they're doing like newborn work, children, family photos, headshots, corporate headshots, that kind of stuff. Event photography like weddings. I've actually done like baby showers and a corporate, not meetings, but a convention type thing where those are, events. So you still need a photographer out there to do that type of work and capture the people. And sometimes it's politicians and business people, you're doing little group shots type of stuff. Okay, well, that's, easy to, not easy, but is easier to earn, some type of income on that, whether it's full-time or part-time. What's hard is street photography to make money at. Also landscape photography and wildlife photography. So most people that do those 3 categories of photography, and I know other ones, but they just do it because they love to do it. It's a hobby. That's all it is. They don't make money. People that tend to make money are like well-known people, artists that have been out there, even celebrities. I mean, if you had somebody like, I'll just pick on Paul McCartney as an example. Well, if Paul McCartney got into, let's say, wildlife photography or landscape photography or even street photography and was showcasing his work, he would probably be picked up by galleries and his prints would be sold. Why? Because it's Paul McCartney. Okay, just like if John Lennon was alive today and he was out taking photos for street photography in New York or whatever, and a gallery was hosting his work because it's John Lennon, somebody that's well known. Okay, well, the average person, isn't well known and typically can't make a living at that. So here's the best camera. And again, very controversial. And by the way, I see the shift happening, whether we like it or not, and I'll express my opinion on this. But the best camera, it's taking off like crazy when it comes to these categories of photography and basically landscape and street photography. You ready? Is no camera at all. 100% AI. And AI is getting really good. It's improving. And they figured that 2024 is now the pivotal year, that it's virtually almost impossible to tell the difference between, visually the average person, between something that you went out and photographed the camera versus AI. So in other words, I could put a body of work, say, I'm just going to use street photography as an example. A body of work in street photography, all AI, I'm actually going to, let's see if I have one out here somewhere. Again, so as an example, let's say I made a tabletop book, which I did. This is my trip out west, but these are photographs I actually photographed. But, I could put a body of work, I'm just going to say, let's say street photography. And I do all AI stuff. And I convert it to black and white. And then I put it into a tabletop book that I'll have printed up. And I just have it displayed in my home, on my coffee table, whatever. And the average person is going to pick that up. And I'll bet you even a photographer is going to look at these and not know unless I say something. So my point is, I can create a body of work in AI, say, again, in street photography, and no one's going to know. They might ask questions. Oh, where was this taken? That kind of stuff. But if you're just looking at a body of work, so let's talk about this more in depth. And that is definitely a tangent that is happening, that people are splitting off in this direction. Not a lot, but it's increasing worldwide, which means I can sit back and do a beautiful body of work again, like I mentioned, to have printed. But why would I waste my time getting up in say in the morning or whenever the favorite time to go do street photography, whether it's late afternoon or whatever, doesn't matter what time. So I'm going to get up, get my gear, drive to a location, spend all that time in the elements. Maybe it's cold, maybe it's hot. I mean, who knows what, and spend a few hours out there photographing. Come back, process these images. Why would I waste my time doing that when I could sit down in front of my computer and with AI create stuff and I don't have to worry about it? How about landscape photography? Why would I drive or scout locations and document stuff and then go hiking to find that perfect view and set up a tripod and all this other stuff? And again, fighting maybe the elements of, it could be snow, it could be wintertime, whatever, fall. You want to get the colors in that, but it's cold out. Summer, maybe it's hot type of thing. But doing that hiking and all the elements, taking that camera gear, a backpack to stay out there for a few hours in order maybe to get 2 or 3 awesome shots from that afternoon, whether maybe it's early morning or the golden hour toward the evening or late afternoon. The point is, why would you waste your time doing that? And I'll tell you why in a minute, my feeling. But why would I waste my time doing that if I can just do it with AI? And I can put together, books and large prints and that, and no one's going to know. No one's going to know. So I'm going to tell you what my feeling is about that. And I had to write this down, but the thing that you're actually missing in my example by just doing AI instead of going out is, number one, is the experience. You're not, you're sitting in front of a computer. Okay, I get it. But you're missing that experience of going out and doing this kind of work. Okay? It's just like somebody said, why do people go out fishing and they're out there for hours and they catch a fish and they take a picture and they throw the fish back in the water? Years ago, people fished to eat the fish and that. Now it's like this big sport to go out, you catch stuff, you look, take a picture, hey, and then you throw it back in the water. It's the experience that they have. Because a lot of people say, I don't get it. Why would you go fishing if you're not going to eat it? It's the experience of going out and doing it. So it's the same thing in photography. It's the experience in going out and doing landscape photography or street photography. So you're missing that if you're doing AI. The other thing I'd write down is just the satisfaction of knowing that you did this. This is your work out there, and to be proud of that work that you did. You just don't get that with AI. Yeah, you're doing prompts. You go, oh, check it out. I'm proud. Look at the prompt I did to get that. But, that satisfaction level just isn't there versus actually physically going out and taking, the images with a camera. And then the last area that I think is great, and that is when you're going out doing street photography, landscape photography, or even wildlife photography, it's your health. It's the exercise of getting out, getting fresh air, walking, hiking for distances. You're using your mind and your body, and that's a plus to get out. The last thing I would want to do for me is sit in front of a computer and just do all this AI stuff and say, oh, look at my body of work. So that's just me personally. The reason I'm doing AI stuff is just to experience what can be done, but is it something I would actually do and put a book together? And the answer is not really, no. I might do it as an exercise just to fool people, type of thing. But no, I mean, I'm just actually experimenting, looking at stuff. But to me, nothing beats taking that camera out and doing what you love to do and enjoy that experience. Okay, so I get it. If you're a street photographer, it's that experience out there and capturing that unique image. Same thing with landscape and wildlife photography. So don't get upset if people are tangenting off and doing AI stuff. That's their business. Let them do what they want to do. You do what you want to do with your camera. So again, for some people, the best camera now, is no camera at all. Okay, so I know that might upset some people. I take it with a grain of salt. I think it's fascinating to see that attitude, but I'm still old school. I want the experience of using a camera. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's just do a quick recap. By the way, if you could help me out again, like this video, subscribe if you have not subscribed, and hit that notification bell. The next time I upload a video, you'll get notified on that. Buy me a coffee information will be in the show notes for you. And also my email address should be right here if you have any questions, suggestions on some things that you want me to talk about in the future. It is stephenphotoartist@gmail.com. Okay, so I'm going to end this again by saying get that camera out, practice, make mistakes. Why do I want to make mistakes? Because we learn from making mistakes. Until next time, see ya.